Today you're going to get back your painting that you started last time. Remember that we used white on top, black on the bottom, and they kind of mixed to make it gray in the center. We're going to be finishing up our Hokusai project. You're going to need to get one paintbrush off of the supply table, and I think that's all you'll need today. So before I start painting, I need to make the big wave that we saw in Hokusai's work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a nice big C shape. It's like a big capital C. And then from the top, I'm going to gently curve that back down. It's almost like a diagonal coming from the top to the edge of the paper. And that's going to be my big wave. After I've drawn my wave, I'm going to use my brush and I'm going to paint blue over everything. Everything that I painted last time, as well as that wave that I just drew. So when I paint over this black and white and gray, you're going to see some of that black and white gray through it. So at the bottom of your paper, that blue is going to be a bit darker. At the top, it's going to be a little bit lighter. You're also going to want to paint up your wave. Alright, so I've got everything painted blue. Next, I'm going to dip my brush into some white. That's okay if you have a little bit of blue on your brush. I'm just going to try and wipe off any extra globs. So my brush is pretty clean. I'm going to take some white. I'm going to paint along the top of my blue area. I'm kind of mixing it in. I'm going back and forth with it. I'm also going to paint up the wave. This is kind of make it look like that water's moving, like it's churning. Last but not least, for painting like this, take my brush, get a little bit more white on it. I'm going to use it going down from the side. Alright, so I'm not going to paint it the wide way, I'm going to paint it the narrow way. And I'm going to start from up at the top. And I'm going to curve it down. So I'm kind of making this C shape. I can do a few of them. It's going to make that wave look bigger and badder. Alright, so I painted everything blue, added white along the top. I also turned my brush sideways so I had my brush real narrow, and I made a few of those C shapes. The very last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my painting and my messy paper, and I'm going to go to the back counter. And at the back counter I have some toothbrushes and I have some white paint. You're going to gently get a little bit of paint on your brush. You don't want a whole lot. And I'm going to dab it along just the top part of my water. This is once again going to look like that water's moving. Just dabbing it. Kind of going over it a few times. You don't want to overdo it though. Definitely want to get it up here on your wave part. You might want to put a little bit extra up here. You might have to turn your brush as well, that way you're not getting it all over your sky. Alright, so when you're this far, you're finished. Remember, you paint everything blue, add white along the top, add some of those white C's, and then pick it up, go to the back counter, and you're using a toothbrush to add some of that foamy water right along the top part. When you're done with that, put your brush away in the dirty brush bin, and you can clean up.